I'm Karen McKay, and I'm so glad to be here today to promote something exciting that's happening tomorrow. It is our 40th annual CMN telethon. It will take place all day tomorrow from daybreak until 10 o'clock. Our guest today, I bet many of you recognize, is Dr. Doug Klepper, longtime pediatrician here in Lubbock and huge supporter from the beginning for CMN, because when we started 40 years ago, Dr. Klepper, you were in medical school. I
was in medical school, and I still remember that small room off the hospital that you and Abner were scrunched in there to do these telethons.
And it worked the first year, and now look where we've come 40 years later.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you have seen more than anybody then how it's grown in 40 years. I mean, well, first, let's go back and look at a picture we have of an interview with Dr. Klepper. It was in 1998. 25 years ago, there we are. Look at all the hair you have.
I did, and that's a reminder of how good things were back then. But as through the years we've seen it all, and back at that time I actually had the fortunate opportunity to take care of several CMN kids, and that was such an important time.
And you have every year, and even now one of our miracle kids this year, Ava Pena, is 2 years old, and you were the one who diagnosed her with leukemia, and she came in with something you wouldn't think with leukemia, a weird discoloration of the skin.
It was a skin rash, and that particular diagnosis with leukemia can present in all kinds of ways, which is why we advocate for people to come in and get their children seen, because something wasn't right, and these parents knew something was not right, and so they came in and saw me, and we just started that whole process, and CMN's been a big support of Ava's recovery.
And tell us how CMN has helped in so many kids' recovery and just really in their treatment in 40 years and how things have changed.
They've helped with equipment purchases, things that the hospital's not been able to provide without the CMN support. That's made it easier and more convenient, less painful for kids. It keeps us at the cutting edge for the technology, and even more so, even with the child life, which makes it less traumatic for kids in the hospital, which is a huge deal for their recovery process.
And as needs change, medical needs change, it's lucky that the CMN dollars are there to buy the best equipment and what's new.
Without a doubt, and to go back to the main purpose, that we're able to provide care in Lubbock because of CMN, that people would have to go 5-8 hours away without the options being available that CMN's made here.
We have appreciated you so much for 40 years. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Klepper. I want to mention that tomorrow it all starts in daybreak. If you pledge now, because the phone lines are open at 747-KIDS, if you pledge to be a miracle maker, which is $20 a month for a year, then your name will be rolled across the screen on the ticker starting tomorrow morning when we actually launch it, when Abner and I launch it during daybreak, during the 5 o'clock hour. But we appreciate those calls. Please call that number, and it makes a difference, doesn't it, Doug? In the end, more than $26 million in 40 years, and let's hope that we make a lot more money this year, too.
Very well. We've all been touched.
That's right. Thank you, Dr. Klepper, for being here.
Thank you.
Now stay with us. Angie's up next with more news.